Oh man, Apostate Prophet finally commented on this stupid Islamic defense video. Oh man, let's read what he said. Oh man, this is so exciting. I mean, I'm telling you guys, Apostate Prophet is a genius, you know? Everything he says is true. So here he says at number 10, I hope for you that you follow Sufism. If you follow mainstream Sunni Islam, you should know that the ulama are ambiguous, that there are parable and analogies in the Quran. But there is nothing beside the weird letter verses that can be understood by anyone. The story of Dhul-Qarnayn is not an example. And he gave an example. He gave a link. Oh my God, there's no way he's saying something stupid or let his own bias get the best of him. I mean, let me just check. So let me go to Google, www.google.com. Okay, let me type Quran chapter 3 verse 7. Okay, let's check it out. Oh man, those stupid Muslims' days are numbered, I'm telling you. Okay, let's check it. You know what? I'm not even gonna read the translation because those scholars, Islamic scholars, they're all biased. You know, they're liars. We can't trust them. Okay, I'm gonna read the direct Arabic. You know, word for word, literal translation. Okay, now you guys probably can see my my mouse being moved, but it's there. Okay. All right. So let's see what it says. So the verse says, he is the one who revealed to you the book, meaning the Quran. Of it are verses absolutely clear. They are the foundation of the book. So in the Quran there are verses that are absolutely clear. We all know that. And others are allegorical. Wait. Here, let me read that again. He is the one who revealed to you the book, Quran. Of it are verses absolutely clear. They are the foundation of the book. So in the Quran there are verses that are absolutely clear. They are the foundation of the book. And others are allegorical. Wait. Oh. Wait. No. But Apostate Prophet, he said that the ulama are ambiguous, that there are parables and analogies in the Quran, but there is nothing beside the weird letter verses that can be understood by anyone. He said that here, but here it is saying that there are verses that are allegorical. So he lied? No. Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. So basically recently I saw that Apostate Prophet, he posted kind of like a refutation to my video, and he failed miserably in his attempt to refute my arguments. I want to do a comparative analysis of the evidences that Apostate Prophet has provided us and the evidences that I showed in my previous video. Basically, he made a claim that according to him, that in Quran, it says that the sun sinks in a muddy water. I provided a counterclaim. I said that no, the sun doesn't set in a muddy water. So let's take a look at both of our evidences and let's decide which claim has the best evidences. So let's take a look. So basically, Apostate Prophet, he provided two evidences. The first one is the verse 1886. Now, this is his main evidence in the Quran. And then he gave another evidence from Sunan Abu Dawud, Hadith number 3991. You can check out the sources in the description. Don't tell me that I didn't provide any sources. The sources are in the description. So yeah, in this hadith it says that Prophet said that the sun sets in a spring of warm water. Now there's a problem here. Basically, just because something is sahih in chain doesn't mean it can be weak. It can be considered weak or contradictory to the evidence. For example, this hadith in particular was narrated by two people, and the other hadith, which is considered sahih by Bukhari and Muslim, was narrated by a larger number of people. So imagine you're going on a road and you ask for directions. So two people tell you that go take the road on the left, and 15 other people tell you to take the road on the right. So who do you listen to? Do you listen to the two people who told you to go on the left, or do you listen to the 15 people who told you to go on the right? Obviously you're going to listen to the 15 people, because the majority are usually more reliable. Because like I said, I already explained this, two people can make a mistake, but 15 people are likely not to make a mistake. Also, it's not just that more narrators have narrated this hadith. The hadith itself contradicts the Quran, which says that the sun runs underneath the throne of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. It says in two verses. And also the hadith also contradicts the other hadith, which has been narrated by a large number of people. So these are the things is why this hadith is considered weak. It's not because I want it to be weak. It is weak because based on evidence. Now, if this hadith that we're talking about, that says the sun sinks in a spring of warm water, if it was narrated the same way as the Sahih hadith and it was repeated in the Quran, I would have no problem accepting this. But the problem is it doesn't. So this has nothing to do with bias or anything like that. This is based on evidence. And another thing is that how do you know this hadith, the Prophet isn't being poetic in this hadith, using poetic word or metaphorical words, and also, like, it doesn't say that the sun sets on earth. It just says it sets in a spring water. What does that mean? It could be a metaphorical term. So even though this is a weak hadith, by the way, this is extremely weak hadith, and I've already explained why it is. So this is why this hadith is not acceptable. Even if you do accept it, it still doesn't help his cause, because it still doesn't say it sets on earth. Also, it doesn't. Also, how do you know this in this hadith, Prophet isn't being poetic, or using poetic words or metaphorical words? And in the verse of the Quran which he used, 1886, I believe. Yeah, 1886. Basically, here it is quite clear that it says he found it. Here, it also doesn't say that it sets on earth. It just says that he found it. Now, if it actually set on earth, clearly Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala would have mentioned that it sets on earth, in a dark mud on earth. But it doesn't say that. Why doesn't it say that? So he says that Quran uses clear words that the sun sets in a muddy water, and it doesn't say as if. Just because it doesn't say as if doesn't mean it sets in a muddy water. Again, this is a non sequitur, a fallacy. He says that found it doesn't mean he saw it, except that's literally what it means. And also, if this is how you think, how he thinks, then I have a question for him. When someone says that I flew from Germany to Moscow, does he understand that to mean that means that guy can literally fly like Superman from Germany to Moscow? If not, then why not? This is my question to him, and I challenge him to answer my question. If he cannot, then, well, there you go. He has no argument. Because it says he found it literally means that he found it, or it was from his perspective. Also, this is never meant, this whole sun sinking in a muddy water was never repeated anywhere else in the Quran. So we have no reason to think that, this is something that's been described as something literal, or that the sun is literally sinking in a muddy water. But now I've already proved that not every verse in the Quran has to be taken literally. So yeah. So this is why these two evidence that he provided are, in my opinion, very weak. Now let's take a look at my evidences. I've provided basically 5 evidences, and all 5 of them are solid, hard evidences. The first one is a Sahih Hadith in Sahih al-Bukhari 3199, where it says that the Prophet said that the sun runs beneath the throne of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And then there is another hadith, this is in Sahih al-Bukhari, book number 60, hadith number 327. It's classified as Sahih, where the Prophet said the same thing. So basically you have 2 hadith that is saying the same thing, Sahih hadith, and that the sun runs beneath the throne of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. By the way, another thing is that Apostate Prophet, he was saying that, it says prostrate, it doesn't make any scientific sense. Now this is not part of the hadith, but according to the hadith scholars, I'm assuming prostration in the Islamic literature doesn't mean that they're literally prostrating. Prostration in Islamic literature is oftentimes used, many times in the Quran. It says that the trees prostrate, or the suns prostrate, or even the clouds prostrate towards Allah. It doesn't mean that they're literally prostrating. It just means that they're doing what they're supposed to be doing. And the evidence for that is in the hadith I just mentioned. It's kind of captioned by the scholars. So we have no reason to think that this means that the sun is literally prostrate. The third hadith is from Ibn Kathir. And by the way, Apostate Prophet, he accused me of using the tafsir as evidence, which is a lie. I didn't use the tafsir as evidence. I just used the hadith from the tafsir as evidence. Hadith is perfectly acceptable. The evidence I'm using is actually a hadith that's collected by Ibn Kathir. So this is not this is not his opinion. I'm not using his opinion as evidence. I'm just using the actual hadith, which says that the sun runs in a fixed course, in a fixed term, meaning it will keep moving without slowing down or stopping. And another hadith, where he also accused me, from Ibn Kathir. Again, this is a hadith. This is not his commentary, where he was mentioned by Qatada that these people lived in a land where nothing grew. So talking about where Dulkarnain went, and where when the sun rose, they'd go into tunnels until it had passed its zenith. Basically, the whole thing I mentioned about Rushavad, he accused me that I didn't. I used his commentary as evidence, but I didn't. As you can see, this is just a hadith. So basically, now, as you can see, we now have 3 evidences. The first one is the Sahih Hadith in Bukhari. The second one is the Sahih Hadith in also in Bukhari. So 2 hadith, and then the other one is in Ibn Kathir. And then there's the 2 Quran verses that I used. They're perfectly acceptable, and both of them says that the sun and the moon are running towards a stopping point. One is 1433 and the other one is 3638. Both are saying the sun and moon are running. So again, if it says the sun and moon are running in both the Quran and the hadith, then that's what it means. There's no ifs, no buts, that's it.